Hi, and welcome to Ghoulin Around. I'm your host, Joanne Massey.
I'm Jason Massey.
So, today we're going to do a little short video on movie reviews. So, those who have me on Facebook know that I've been doing like little short snippets on movies as I continue to watch them. I've come to realize from other people who commented that not everybody follows us on Facebook, but they do have our YouTube channel, so they would like us to do our reviews on YouTube as well as Facebook. So today I'm going to go through the most current videos I've watched in the past week or so and kind of give a short little review of what we think. Jason's joining me today because he's watched a couple of these with me. Most of them just me, so we're going to start right here with the first one, and this one you can find on Netflix. I rated these 1 out of 10, 10 being the highest, and I categorized the ratings on acting, effects, storyline, and scariness, and then I'll give an overall and a little summary. I try to do no spoilers just in case people want to watch these. A lot of them you can find on Netflix, so I'll try not to give spoilers, right? Right.
You better.
Okay. So the first one that we're going to talk about is The Ritual. This one you can find on Netflix. I gave the acting a 9 out of 10. The guys that act in this are actually pretty good. There wasn't really any major complaints, just one of the actors I didn't really care for. It wasn't he was a bad actor, I just didn't like his character. Effects, I gave this an 8 out of 10. I'll explain when I give my summary. Storyline, I gave this a 6 out of 10. The storyline was a little predictable and not so great. So the premise of this movie was these 4 guys go hiking in, I think, Swedish or something like that. Sweden? Is that how you pronounce it?
They hike in Swedish.
Swedish. In Swedish.
In Sweden.
Yeah. In Sweden, I believe.
Nothing bad ever happens when you hike.
Yeah, when you go out in the middle of the woods and they decide they want to take like a shortcut through the woods rather than go back on the hiking trail. Mm. So, of course, they encounter a creature and weird stuff happens. When it comes to the effects, the creature effects were actually really well done. I really liked the creature. When they encountered these other things out in the forest, the blood and the gore effects weren't really good. It was very, very fake. So that's why I gave it an 8 out of 10. The storyline was just so predictable. Obviously, people going out in the middle of the woods, you know what's going to happen.
Yeah. They're not getting out is what I'll tell you.
Yeah, they're not going to get out. Scariness, I only gave this a 5 out of 10. It wasn't really scary at all. You could see everything coming from a mile away, even though there's trees everywhere. So overall, I just gave this a 7 out of 10. I do recommend it if you do have time. Watch it on Netflix. I wouldn't recommend going out and buying the movie unless you've already watched it and you want to own it. I wouldn't buy it, but I did enjoy watching it. The next movie you can also find on Netflix. It's called 6 Souls. This one was... So I'll give a little summary first, and there's not really much I can give on this without giving stuff away, but it's about this guy who's kind of got like a multiple personality disorder. That's about it. I mean, there's not really much I can give to not give stuff away, but the acting, I definitely gave it a 10 out of 10. This guy... His splitting personalities was great. I loved when he split personalities and he changed because you could really tell it was a different person. The effects on it, I also gave it a 10 out of 10 because when this guy changes from personalities, he actually like goes into convulsions, and there's one of his personalities is paralyzed. So when he changes into David, his head goes all the way back and it cracks and it breaks. His neck actually breaks every time he goes into David's character, and they did a really good job on it. The storyline, I gave it a 7 out of 10. I didn't really like the ending so much. I thought that it kind of ruined the movie for me, trying to make it into more of a horror movie and not it almost kind of like turned it into a paranormal movie, and I really didn't like that too much. I'm not a big fan of the paranormal movies at all. Scariness, I only gave this a 4 out of 10. It was not scary by any means. It had no jump scares, it had no blood, it had no gore. There was nothing to really be scared of in this movie. Overall, I gave it a 7.75 out of 10. I do recommend this movie. I actually really enjoyed watching the acting and the split personalities. It just kind of, like, the ending kind of ruined it, but it was great. I would recommend it. I actually got my mom to watch it, even though she's not with us right now, to give her opinion. Jason here still needs to watch it.
Yeah, when you told me about it, it sounded a lot like Split.
Yeah,
with, James McAvoy. And I was like, I like that movie, so I'll have to watch
and
this
I didn't
movie.
like Split when I watched it. I didn't care for it at
not
all.
everyone did.
Yeah.
But I liked it because I like the whole multiple personality thing. And I looked it up. It is Julianne Moore.
It is Julianne Moore, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy that plays is Jonathan Rhys Meyers?
Meyers?
I think that's how you say his name. I don't know.
I think it's Reese. Jonathan Rhys Meyers.
Is that how you say it?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Tell us in the comments how to pronounce his name.
Yeah, yeah. He was great, though. He was just a really, really good actor in this. I loved his character. Loved his split personality characters, too. It was great. The next one is going to be Dead Awake. I liked this movie, but didn't like this movie. So, this movie, the premise of it is about sleep paralysis, and I've watched a couple movies about sleep paralysis now. They interest me because I also suffer from sleep paralysis, and there's been a few times where I have hallucinated, just like everybody else that has gone through this. The premise of this movie is the sleep hag. Those who have sleep paralysis or enjoy nightmares know that the word nightmare actually comes from the meaning. It means like a sleep hag or a night hag, and it's like a demon that kind of I would just gives you nightmares, I guess. So this is based off of that perception that there's a night hag trying to kill these people, and that's why they're getting sleep paralysis. This movie, the acting, I gave it a 6 out of 10. Some of the parts were pretty overdone. The effects, I gave it an 8 out of 10 on the effects because the sleep hag that they had, the demon thing, it was actually really good looking. It also did like the contortions, so it actually looked pretty good. I think that's where all their budget went. They didn't really have any good actors, so. The storyline, I gave it a 6 out of 10. Super predictable. I mean, obviously, at the beginning, it's about sleep paralysis and that there's a night hag going after these people. So, I mean, you could play out the whole movie in your head within the first minute of the movie. I mean, there wasn't much to really go on. Overall, I gave it a 6 out of 10. You can watch this movie on Netflix if you like. I don't really recommend it or don't recommend it. It's one of those movies where it's just kind of like, if you're interested,
watch or don't watch.
Yeah, if you're interested in my little summary, go ahead and watch it. But it's all right. You're not missing
out if you don't.
Yeah, exactly. There's not really any point to it. This next movie we both watched.
Exactly.
So this next movie is Insidious. This is not one that you can find on Netflix. We ended up actually buying this, which was regrettable. Yeah, that's for sure. I know a lot of people like the Insidious franchise, and so that's why I ended up buying the first movie to watch it, and it was disappointing.
Yeah,
Very disappointing.
I wish I didn't watch it.
Yeah, it was not worth it. The acting, I gave 5 out of 10. Super overdone.
Yeah.
The only actor I liked in it was, what was his name? Patrick Wilson.
Yep. He plays the
dad
husband in the movie, and he's the only part worth watching for.
Yeah, he was the
He tried so hard to redeem that movie, and no.
So, 5 out of 10. Effects, I gave it a 5 out of 10 as well. They could have done so much more with these effects. They really could. The demon with the red face demon.
Yeah, he did not look that good. He was overhyped throughout the entire movie, because the entire movie you don't really get to look at him, and like at one point you kind of get an idea what he looks like, and it's like, oh man, he must be terrifying, and then he shows up and you're like, whatever.
Yeah, it was
whatever.
like, I even made the joke that, like, I was like, what is this? Are we watching Darth Maul? Like,
yeah, he literally just looks like Darth Maul chasing around a little kid.
Yeah, it just was not what I was expecting. I didn't care for him. He was not scary by any means.
And then like all the scares in the movie relied on jump scares and quick cuts.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's just do better. Come on.
So storyline, I gave it a 2 out of 10.
I was gonna say 10 out of 10. Ooh.
No, 2 out of 10.
So predictable.
Yeah, extremely predictable, and even like the little twist.
Yeah, the twist at the end we
was not.
We were like, oh, all right, cool. Yeah, we knew that was going to be the case.
Yeah, it was not. It was not good. Scariness, I also gave this a 2 out of 10. I don't really know what else to say about that. I mean, I really didn't care for this movie. Did we even give a summary on this one? I don't think we did. I think the whole summary was
kid gets haunted. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the entire premise. Kid gets haunted.
Yeah. It was not.
There's more to it, but no one cares.
That's the damn truth.
Yeah.
Overall, I gave this a 3.5 out of 10. For those that actually like this movie, please feel free to comment why you like this movie, because we couldn't think of anything good to say about this one at all.
No, we couldn't.
Yeah.
Because we like good horror movies.
Yeah, this was not a good one. So the next one I watched was Friend Request, and when this movie first came out, I remember seeing it and just thinking, this is stupid about this whole social media haunting kind of thing. I know like there's a big hype about the dark web right now. I haven't seen those either.
The Unfriended.
Unfriended, yeah. This one was actually pretty good though. I enjoyed it. You can watch it on Netflix. I'm thinking since it's a newer movie, it probably won't be on Netflix for very long. So if you feel like you want to watch this movie, I would watch it soon. Acting, I gave it a 7 out of 10. Most of the actors in this were teenagers, so you kind of got the teenager type acting in it. Your typical.
Or overdone.
Yeah.
No between.
Yeah, you have it's just typical teenagers, and yeah, so that's the acting in it. But the effects, I gave it a 9 out of 10. I thought the effects were pretty well done. Obviously, it's a newer movie, so obviously it's going to have pretty good effects. Well, I can't really say that for all new movies, but
some new movies come out and you're like, all right.
Yeah, but the effects were pretty good. I really liked that the girl that ended up killing herself in this movie. It's not a spoiler. I think that's part of the description of the movie. She draws like Facebook video things, and she posts on Facebook, and they're actually really neat because they're like animated and stuff, and it's about her nightmares. But so storyline, I kind of gave it a 7 out of 10. It was pretty predictable. I enjoyed watching it. It was still good, but it was really predictable. Scariness, I gave it a 6 out of 10. The effects weren't scary, but they relied a lot on jump scares. They had quite a few jump scares in them, so that's why I kind of gave it a little bit higher rating. And so the premise of this one was just this girl doesn't have any friends, kind of dresses in dark clothing, kind of gothic looking. She goes on Facebook and friend requests the popular girl, which is the main character, and so she accepts the friend request. But then the creepy girl starts like stalking her and like going crazy. I mean, like absolutely going crazy. So then the popular girl's like, no, I can't be friends with you because you're a freak. You know, she really did try to be friends with this girl. I mean, she really did. And then so of course the gothic girl, after this happened, kills herself and haunts the popular girl and her friends. And I really didn't think that the popular girl deserved it at all. I really don't, because she really did try to be friends with this girl, and she was just out there. I mean, like, if I friended some girl and she started stalking me and...
Probably do the same thing.
Yeah. Like, I don't think she deserved it at all. But, you know, that was the premise of the movie without giving any of it away. Now, this next movie we also watched together, and this is probably the worst movie on our list today. It's a movie you can watch on Netflix. It's called Nails. So we'll do a short little summary about it first, so you can explain why we've rated this so horribly.
Yeah.
God, what was the premise of the
So
movie?
basically, the girl starts the movie, and she gets hit by a car, so she's in a hospital, and the entire time she's at a hospital, she's being haunted by this thing, and you learn it's named Nails, which is why the movie's called Nails. And that's basically
nails, as in
premise.
like fingernails,
Yeah.
not like nails you nail in a wall. It was fingernails, because he used to be a nurse that worked there or something, and he cut all the little girls' fingernails off.
Yeah, so they gave him the name Nails.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah, that's the whole premise of this, is she's kind of being haunted in the hospital and trying to learn how to...
It was just not a good movie.
It was horrible. So let's go to our ratings on this. Our acting, 3 out of 10. Very well done or underdone, depending on the characters. It was pretty bad.
It's like either they're plain-faced or they're screaming and crying the entire movie.
Yeah.
And that was like the two things you got for the acting.
Yeah. Effects. The only reason why I gave this a 5 out of 10 for the effects is because that's the reason why we started watching this movie, because the effects of the guy, Nails, looked creepy in the preview, and we're like, hey, he looks really creepy, we should watch this. And
yeah, because we were on Netflix trying to find our next movie to watch, and Nails popped up. And you know how when you hover over something for a little bit on Netflix, it starts playing like a preview thing? It played that, and it showed his creature, and we're like, wow, he looks pretty good. So we started watching it. Regret it. Don't. It's not worth it.
Yeah. So he looked creepy, so that's why we started watching it. But obviously, okay, so this girl gets hit by a car. She's got like a feeding tube in her neck, and like she's got this thing around her neck. You're not supposed to be able to move your neck, and she's like moving her neck, and the tube's staying in the same spot, right? So that was horribly done. That's so easy to do. Just tape it in place, damn it. Like, it's not that hard. I really didn't like any of the medical effects that they had in this thing. She had a cut on her arm that they sewed up.
It looked so fake.
Looked so fake. I mean, it looked like they took like black marker and drew like lines across for the stitching. Like, I mean, it was so poorly done. But I mean, I still gave it a 5 out of 10 only because Nails effects were actually decent. Storyline, 2 out of 10. It was bad. It was really bad.
It's like there's a certain point in the movie you're just like, I just don't care anymore.
Yeah.
It's like, get it over with. Please.
I think if we weren't doing reviews on this, we probably would have shut it off a long time ago. Yeah. We wouldn't have made it through the movie. I've done that with quite a few movies, but now that we're doing the podcast, it's like, oh crap,
Might as well finish it.
I gotta get through this. And some of them are pretty agonizing, so this one was definitely agonizing. Scariness, 2 out of 10.
Yeah.
Wasn't scary.
The only scary thing about the movie was his Nails effect when he shows up and he's like walking and all that. He looks genuinely creepy.
Yeah, they did a really great job with him, and that's it. That's all. That is it.
It's like the entire movie is just a build up to show him for 5 seconds.
Yeah. They could have like made this into like one of those like YouTube like little short 5-minute what do they call those? There's a name for them. Like the look-see and the...
Oh, yeah, like those mini videos.
Yeah, the mini videos that you can find. Like, they could have made this like a 5-minute mini video, and it would have been great.
Yeah, because it falls into the whole thing that a lot of other ghost movies do, where it's like, you start the movie, and then, like, towards the end of the movie, the ghost is like, oh, yeah, I was actually, like, all-powerful. It's like, then why didn't you do anything at the very beginning of the movie? This movie could have been over in 5 minutes.
Yeah. So, this one is on Netflix. I still wouldn't recommend watching it. It's a waste of time. So overall, I gave it a 3 out of 10. I really did not like this movie. The next one, I watched The Open House. You can also find this one on Netflix. And what was that guy's name? Dylan Minnette.
The kid from 13 Reasons Why and Goosebumps, the guy. Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, so he plays the son in this movie, and that's the reason why I ended up watching it, because I was like, hey, I recognize him. He's a good actor, so I'm going to watch this movie. And it was pretty good. It was nice to get away from the paranormal stuff. This was like a home invasion type movie. The acting on it, I gave it a 7 out of 10. I thought Dylan Minnette and the girl that played his mom did really well. The other actors in it was just side actors, kind of like whatever. Especially their neighbor. They had a neighbor in this one, and she was just weird. Like, she was really weird. Effects. So, the effects, I gave a 10 out of 10, only because there's no effects. It's a home invasion movie. There's no blood and gore. There's no effects. There's no effects at all. I think once you see blood, and one time you see the home invader breaking the mother's fingers, and that's all you get. So since there's no really effects, I mean, you can't really like bomb it and give it a 0. So I just gave it a 10 out of 10.
Then not a lot of movies would be willing to do such little effects. They would at least have like a gratuitous, like, oh, let's have some CGI blood here or whatnot.
Yeah, no, it just was based off of the home invasion scary aspect of it. No real effects in this. The storyline I gave a 7 out of 10, and that was because I was left with so many questions. You never get to find out who the home invader was, how they got into the house, like what happened. Like, it literally just has the home invasion and it's over. And you're like, well, that didn't tell me anything. Why is this guy doing this? Who is he? You never see him. Like, you just see like his shoes pretty much throughout the entire movie, or like just, him in the dark. I was left with a lot of questions, and I didn't like that.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Maybe they plan on going and doing more. Maybe they'll answer more questions.
I mean, it was a 2018 movie, so
yeah, it was a very new movie.
They'll make The Open House 2 even opener.
the opener. So, scariness, I gave this a 6 out of 10. There was no real jump scares in this. There was no blood and gore to be scared of. The only scary aspect of this movie is that, it could happen to any of us. It could happen to you, anybody at any time, because, well, it happens.
Yeah.
Especially
people are people.
Especially with an open house, because the whole premise of this is they're trying to sell this house, and there's people, strangers coming into this house to look at this house, and this guy ends up in the house. And they don't know if he made an extra key, if he stole a key, or even if he, just never left the house. They don't understand how he got in there. So overall, I gave this a 7.5 out of 10. It's on Netflix. You can watch it if you like. I don't recommend it or not recommend it. So, I mean, it's just one of those movies. The last one on our list.
Highly recommend.
Highly recommend. And I never watched this movie because it looked so stupid.
And I kept telling her, I was like, you gotta watch it.
Yeah, he finally got me to watch it. And it's great. It's called The
Babadook.
The Babadook, yeah. Ugh. So, this one, the premise of this movie is
a single mother with her child. I think it's London, right? Yeah.
I know it's in Europe somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, but she's a single mom because their husband died, and they get a book called The Babadook, and then after that, everything just goes to hell, and it is so good to watch.
Yeah, the what did it say in the book?
If it's in a word or in a book, you can't get rid of the Babadook.
Yeah.
And so the second they read it, just all shit breaks loose.
So as soon as they read this book, the Babadook exists. And of course, the kid is obviously like scared of the Babadook and thinks the Babadook's there. And she's like, no, it's not real. Mm-hmm. Well, she eventually finds out, hey, it is real. She tries to get rid of the book quite a few different times, and it keeps coming back. Acting in this movie, 10 out of 10. Great. The acting was absolutely perfect. The kid was great at being this whacked out, freaked out kid that was just, because he knew the Babadook was there before anybody else did. The mother absolutely goes...
I felt so bad for her the entire movie.
Yeah. She goes insane.
Like you feel bad for her.
Yeah, absolutely insane. So... spoilers aside, this one part, the kid goes walking into the bathroom because his mom's in the bathroom and he's hungry or something. I can't remember. And she's sitting in the bathtub in her dress.
Yeah.
And she picks him up and puts him in the bathtub with her, all dressed, because she's just nuts at this point. She's just like, her face is like, it's gone. Mm-hmm. Like, she loses it. And the actor does a really, really good job. Mm-hmm. Effects, I gave this a 9 out of 10. There's no blood and gore in this movie.
Not a single jump scare.
There's no jump scares. It's literally just the Babadook. Mm-hmm. And he's
all
great.
Terror, suspense, just tension. That's what the entire movie is, just tension.
Yeah. Storyline, I gave this a 10 out of 10. I loved the storyline. It was something different. It's not really a paranormal thing anymore. I'm so tired of these paranormal horror movies.
It's so outdone.
Yes, extremely outdone. This one had kind of like an original idea with the whole children's story coming to life. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think we've had a few of these before, but they did a really good job with it. Scariness, I actually gave this one an 8 out of 10, which is pretty good for my ratings. Usually the scariness I don't do very good ratings on because I don't get scared easily. This one actually had my heart racing when I was watching it. Obviously, I didn't go like have nightmares that night or anything like that, but I mean, it was pretty scary. I mean, my heart was going, and I was just like, wow, this one is getting to me. And it wasn't even that scary. It just gets to you. I don't know why. What did you think on that?
I loved it. I love the fact that the movie had no jump scares, because all horror movies nowadays, they rely too much on it. Where it's like, it's just always a jump scare, but this one, it's like the entire movie, I was like waiting for it, because I was like, I didn't know that it didn't have any jump scares, so the entire time I was like, when's it going to happen? Then after it finished, I was like, that movie was terrifying and didn't have any jump scares. Damn, that's good.
Yeah, they did so good on just messing with your mind, I guess. It was great.
Yeah. I
loved the ending. I can't give away the ending, but I loved the ending. It was great. So I actually highly recommend this one. I have seen this one on Netflix for quite a while. It's been popping up on my must-see list.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be there for a while, so.
I hope it's going to stay on there for a while, but you never know.
It needs to get viewed.
Yeah. So since it's been on Netflix for a while, I would watch it just in case they're going to take it off. Mm-hmm. To make room for some new stuff. They like to do that. So The Babadook was really good. I would highly recommend that one. We talked about Six Souls. I recommend that one as well.
Don't watch Insidious. Don't watch Nails.
No.
If you do, watch for how bad they are, and then tell us how right we are.
Yeah. Those were bad. Don't watch Nails. Good. Nails was a complete waste of time.
Yeah.
We constantly were just like,
what's happening?
Why did they do that? What was the point of putting that into the movie? Yeah. Like, it just didn't make sense.
There was the one scene where, I'm not going to say any spoilers, but it's during a death scene, and the entire time we're just like, Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that?
Yeah, yeah. It was just like, what was the point of that?
Yeah.
Like, it was stupid.
It was a completely avoidable death, and yet, since people are stupid, it happened. And we're like, that was your fault, alright?
Yeah. So that's just on the movies that I've watched this past week or so. Obviously, you know, Jason's watched a couple of them. My mom did watch Six Souls, so hopefully she can comment on both YouTube and Facebook on what she thought as well. I gave her Insidious to watch, so we'll see what she thinks about that one. She does like the paranormal movies, so she might like that one. We're not too much on the paranormal stuff.
Yeah.
It's overdone at this point. I will be doing a book review here soon. I've read 3 books in the past 2 weeks. I'm on my 4th one right now, and I got about 20 minutes left on my audiobook. So once I finish that, I'll go ahead and review all 4 of them. And then I just bought, those who have me on Facebook saw the picture that I just bought a collection set of 200 horror movies. And it's all like the classical horror movies, a lot of like Bela Lugosi, Vincent Price, Lon Chaney, Boris Karloff. So I'll be watching those. There's 50 discs. So I should be busy for quite some time. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to watch 1 disc at a time, and then I'll do my review on that disc. Some discs have like 4 movies, some of them have 2 movies, so it just depends on when I get through them. Mm-hmm. And in between these, I will probably still try to watch newer movies because not everybody's into the classics.
It's an acquired taste.
Yeah.
Older movies are vastly different from nowadays, so.
Yeah, I started watching some of the classics, and I was really happy that it was not the paranormal stuff anymore. I was like, oh yay, back to like real horror stuff, not the paranormal anymore. So I'll start doing reviews on those as I start finishing those, and we'll keep doing our theme podcast here and there. Obviously, you can see we don't have a green screen today. We're not at the studio.
Oh, different location.
Different location. Yeah, we're just at home today, just kind of doing a movie review, and this is kind of how we'll do it in between our themed studio ones. We'll just kind of do like informal reviews.
Yeah. We'll even do that for some newer movies that come out. We'll film it like the night after we see it or something.
Yeah, we will be going to see Slender Man when that one comes out. So
get ready for our review on that. Hopefully it's not as bad as I think it's going to be.
You think it's going to be bad?
Yeah.
I got our tickets and I saw it was PG-13 and I was just like, oh no, not PG-13.
Plus the fact that it's based off a video game, and video game movies never do well, so.
I thought Slender Man was a folklore, and that's why I wanted to see it, because I know the folklore of Slender Man. So
all I saw Slender Man from was the video game.
Yeah,
so that's what made it popular.
We'll definitely give our review. It'll probably be like 10 minutes or something, and it'll have all 3 of us
be something
here.
Short.
Yeah.
Informal.
So hopefully we can give that to you, and then you can decide whether you want to go watch it or not. So we'll do that opening night. Yeah. Not us. I'm saying watch us, but go to see the movie. Yeah.
Or if it sucks, don't watch it.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Anyway, so please comment what you think on these movies, or even if you have certain movies you guys like or don't like and you would like us to watch them, just comment or email us or anything like that.
Send me your cheesiest movies. And
we will watch them. We will watch them and make sure we do a review on them and tell you what we think. You just bought
Thanksgiving, so we're watching it.
Yeah, I bought him the Thanksgiving package.
Yes.
All of them. All
2 of them.
3 of them.
3. Thanksgiving 3. The search for Thanksgiving 2.
Yeah. I know, I bought that and my husband was like, why is there 1 and 3? I was like, because the 3rd one, they're trying to find the 2nd one.
And it's so funny.
So, let us know what you want us to review.
Like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. I'll probably include a link below. So, keep going.